Come join us here at the Cabaret. That's the Ray Stevens CabaRay and Showroom right here in West Nashville. We're easy to find at the Charlotte Avenue exit off I-40 West. It's the place in Nashville for a special entertainment and dining experience. There's great food, all your favorite wines and mixed drinks, a fun piano bar where you can sing along and dance. And there's the Ray Stevens Show, where I'll sing all my biggest hits with Nashville's best musicians and singers. So whether it's a special date night, entertaining friends and family, or you're just coming out to sing along in the piano bar, whatever your reason, the Cabaret is a fun place to enjoy a full night of entertainment. And the parking is free. So come see me, Ray Stevens, at the Cabaret. Call 615-327-4630 or go to RayStevensCabaRay.com. Make your plans now.
From the Ray Stevens Studios in the heart of Nashville's Music Row in Music City, USA, it's Ray Stevens CabaRay Nashville.
My heart keeps going back to Nashville. That's the only place for me. My love is waiting there in Nashville. Nashville, Tennessee.
With Ray's guest, Jamie O'Neill. And the A-Team. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who put Ray in Cabaret, Ray Stevens is here.
Thank you. Now this is a song that was a big hit back in the 40s. And it's about a guy just thrown out of a bar. And he's standing on the sidewalk. And he said, "Oh me, what am I gonna do now? I guess I'll just go home and get some sleep." Now let's see what I do to the key to the apartment here. Oh, I left it with my roommate Richard. Well, I'll just knock on the door and wake him up and make him let me in. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Oh, Richard, why don't you open that door? Open the door, Richard. I know he's in there because I got on the clothes. Open the door, Richard. That's why I don't like to room with nobody. He's so lazy. He don't even want to get up and open the door for me. And I owe just as much rent here as he does. Imagine that old woman charging us $3 a month and getting mad because we only 11 months in arrears. Come meet me last Thursday and say, "Ain't you boys gonna give me some back rent?" I told her she'd be lucky she got some front rent out of me. Oh, man. Open the door, Richard! Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Oh, Richard, why don't you open that door? I just looked at that old woman across the street. Yeah, she done stuck her head out the window. Oh, yeah, now she's calling her sister over. Look at them. They both ugly. Yeah, she and her sister are saying, "Ain't that him? Ain't that him?" Yeah, it's me, and I'm locked out again. Open the door, Richard. Goodness me, mercy's sakes. Oh. What am I gonna do? I'm standing here scratching in my pants pocket, standing here groping in my coat pocket, standing here feeling in my shirt pocket, and I can't seem to find the key. Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Whoa, Richard, why don't you open that door? Richard, won't you open that door? Thank you so much. We got a lot of show for you this week, so let's get right to it. When I first came to Nashville, I was hired to work in the A&R department for Mercury Records, working with new artists. And our guest today is a beautiful and talented singer from Australia who was hired also by Mercury as a new artist when she came to town. And here we are years apart, and I didn't get to work with her till now. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure glad she's with us today. Please welcome Jamie O'Neill. Have a seat.
Yes, sir.
You know, we have something else in common besides being on Mercury. You're from Australia, and I've toured down there at least 6 times, half a dozen times.
Oh, I've heard of you down there. Yes, you're very famous down there.
Well, well, that's good to hear. I can't wait to come back one of these days. Where in Australia are you from?
Well, it's kind of a confusing story. I don't know how long we have, but I was born over there and then raised over here. I call it the opposite of Nicole Kidman, who was born in Hawaii and then taken to Australia. I was brought here when I was like 5 years old. So my whole life has been spent in the States, but born in Sydney originally. And when I go back there, I'm a Yankee, they call us. I'm actually Australian.
Well, mate, you don't have the Australian accent. I couldn't say that.
We have a lot in common, too. Larry McFadden, Harold Shedd.
Oh, my goodness.
We have a lot of mutual friends.
2 of my favorite people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And funny. Very funny.
Oh, absolutely. Larry McFadden's one of the funniest guys. We'll have to get him on the show one of these days.
Yeah.
Because he is a comedian's comedian, let's put it that way. You know, it says here on this card that you grew up listening to traditional country music. Now, is that right?
I did. My dad, who's here today, he's a guitar player, and so he would always play, Roy Clark and Buck Owens, and we listened to Dolly Parton. I mean, Dolly Parton was my hugest inspiration, probably being a singer-songwriter and really telling her story and really being natural and funny. And we got to open for her when I was like 10 years old. And the Gatlin Brothers, we opened for them, and the Oak Ridge Boys. And so I grew up being around all those people, and I get to do the Opry and still see them, and I'm so inspired by their careers, but also just as people, because they're just so authentically real and authentic, and just they're so talented, and they keep working. That's the thing about, if you love singing, you're never going to stop.
That's true.
You're going to do it because it's not a chore. It's something that you love, and it's inbred, and so
That's right.
that's why I love being around them and doing the Opry and being a part of classic and traditional country music. It's just, and once it's in your bones, it's there forever.
Never a truer word was spoken. Meanwhile, speaking of traditional, Hank Williams is probably as traditional as you can get in the country music business. And I'm going to do a Hank Williams song later in the show. Would you like to do a Hank song with me right now at the piano?
I'd be honored.
I'll count it off.
Okay.
Cooking something up with me.
Say, hey, sweet baby, don't you think maybe we can find a brand new recipe? I got a hot rod Ford and a $2 bill, and I know a spot right over the hill. There's soda pop and the dancing's free, so if you wanna have fun, come along with me. Say, hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me?
Oh, tell me what. my date book over the fence. Buy me one for 5 or 10 cents.
I keep it till it's covered with age, 'cause I'm writing your name down on every page. Say, hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up? How's about cooking something up? How's about cooking something up with me?
Something up with me. Hi, this is Ray Stevens with some great news. My CabaRay gift shop has gone digital. You no longer have to drive to Tennessee to see all the stuff we have for you to enjoy and buy. Take your time and take a nice long look around at all the ball caps, t-shirts, monkeys and squirrels. We have keychains, cups, mouse pads, and books, CDs, DVDs, and so much more. Everything we have in the gift shop is now available to you here online. So fill up that shopping cart. Tell us about growing up singing in your family's band.
Well, it was very interesting. We were in a motorhome, and when we weren't playing at fairs, we would just be at the KOA campground, and I'd be out riding my bike. No social media, no phones. That was the most fun to me, was I got to ride the rides at the fairs in between shows. If we had like 4 shows a day, we'd do a show, I'd go ride the rides, I'd eat a corn dog, I'd come back, play a show, go out there again. And that's kind of how we grew up, you know, and it was a wonderful
An endless
childhood.
fair date.
It was an endless fair date, exactly.
Fairs are fun. I mean, I've played
They really
a million
are.
of them. And it is a whole different way of life, you know. And you were, your family's band was the opening act for a lot of big stars during those times, right?
Right, yeah. And we had a tutor that traveled with us, so I guess you could call it homeschool.
Well, yeah.
So I didn't go to actual high school until, the 9th grade, and it was a surprise to me to be around all these kids. We moved out to LA because my parents split up, and so just being around kids for the first time, and I was like, what is this? Get me back on the road. I want to be around adults. I want to sing. I don't want to be with these kids in school.
Now, you say you have a recording studio, and I understand you call it the Grotto.
Yes, that was my husband's idea.
Oh.
Doesn't that sound like something that the guy would come up with?
I used to work the Grotto up in, I believe it was Vancouver.
Oh, really?
A place up there, yeah. It's probably
And, it is in the basement, so, it's...
good place.
Yeah.
Listen, the
It's-
earth all around you, you can't,
Exactly, yeah.
can't get better
it's-
soundproofing.
It's definitely his man cave. He does all the hard work, all the engineering and everything. But I come in and, listen, and I produce the vocals and do background vocals. And I love creating in that space, coming up with ideas for tracks.
Yeah.
And the musicians when we're tracking and overdubbing. That's I love all that part. What I hate is mixing and editing.
You don't like to mix?
No. Oh, I don't know how. It's
Mixing
ridiculous.
will wear you out. It's
Yeah.
really, we won't get into that. What about Momentum Records? Is that a label?
Momentum Label Group. My dad and I started about 5 years ago to give a home to new artists and to work really project by project. We've just had a couple of artists come out under that label. And of course, I'm like the construction worker that their own home is never finished. I'm always working on new music, but never really getting it out there because I'm always working with other artists and finishing up projects that way. But that has been a labor of love as well, is starting something like that and being on the other side of it and really seeing what it takes to get an artist to break through.
You like to write songs.
Love to write.
And so do I. And I'm told that includes holding your own Jamie O'Neill songwriting workshops and cruises.
Yes. Cruising has always been one of my favorite things to do. I've been on about 10, usually with Neil McCoy. For some reason, I'm always on a cruise with Neil, so we have a great time. And I just think it's a great way to meet the fans. The Country Music Cruises is kind of like CMA Fest on water. And so I always have a great time. And I think the songwriting thing comes that so many people would come up to me and say, well, how do you come up with an idea for a song? And you just kind of, it's just a conversation, you know. Well, this is what I do. This is how I start. And it's different every time. You know, sometimes it's a title, or sometimes it's a melody, or, you know, just a story that someone's told you, or a song, a book title. Arizona actually came out of a Stephen King movie, which is Dolores Claiborne. It was a line in the movie. And so it's weird to think that Stephen King inspired a country song that's not about murder, but there you go, you know?
It's amazing where the ideas come from. I know Bill Justice gave me the title for Guitarzan. He's a great musician, an old friend of mine, and he gave me the title, and I thought, well, I'll write the darn thing. Why don't you sing another song for us?
I would love to. Thank you.
Jamie O'Neill, folks.
So I love to give myself a challenge, and I decided coming on here today that I wanted to sing something that was brand new. So this is a song that I wrote just a couple weeks ago, and it's called Just Whiskey.
Tearing us apart. I can't compete with how you seduce him. When you're on his lips, you go all through him. You're poison in his veins, driving him insane. You've got him walking out the door, leaving me alone, never knowing where he's going, when he's coming home. But I'm telling you tonight, I won't give up without a fight. I'm a woman, flesh and blood, I live and breathe, and you're just whiskey. No, you don't love him, but Lord knows I do, and I'll still be here when he gets through with you. If you had your way, he'd drink you till he drowned. You got him walking out the door, leaving me alone, never knowing where he's going, when he's coming home. But I'm telling you tonight, I won't give up without a fight. I'm a woman, flesh and blood, I live and breathe, and you're just whiskey. You're not pretty. I'm begging, I'm pleading, I love him, I need him here with me. You've got him walking out the door, leaving me alone, never knowing where he's going, when he's coming home. But I'm telling you tonight, I won't give up without a fight. I'm a woman, flesh and blood, I live and breathe, and you're just whiskey. You're just whiskey. Oh, you're just whiskey.
Thank y'all so much. This is the song that I was telling Ray has a co-writer by the name of Stephen King, you may have heard of, and this was my first #1 record.
He promised her a new and better life out in Arizona, underneath the blue, never-ending sky. Sworn that he was gonna get things in order. He'd sing going next. But when I do, I'll let you know. May, June, July. She wonders why she's still waiting. Well, she'll keep waiting, 'cause there is no Arizona, no painted desert, no Sedona. If there was a Grand Canyon, she could fill it up with the lies he's told her. But they don't exist, those dreams he sold her. She'll wake up and find there is no Arizona. Each day the sun sets into the west, her heart sinks lower in her chest, and friends keep asking when she's going. Finally she tells them, don't you know there is no Arizona, no painted desert, no Sedona. If there was a Grand Canyon, she could fill it up with the lies he's told her. But they don't exist, those dreams he sold her. She'll wake up and find there is no Arizona. Do-do-do-do. He promised her a new and better life out in Arizona.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Sound fantastic.
Jamie O'Neill, everybody. Jamie O'Neill, everybody.
Thank you, Ray.
Great job.
Thank you so much for
What
having me
did you
today.
sing?
Thank you.
A 1, 2, 3, 4. Your cheating heart make you cry, cry, and try to sleep, but sleep won't come. Sleep won't come the whole night through. Your cheating heart, will tell on you. When tears come down like falling rain, you toss around, whoa, and you call my name. You walk the floor way I do,
Just the way I do.
your cheating heart, will tell on you. Oh, Dennis. When tears come down like falling rain, you toss around, whoa, and you call my name. You walk the floor, just the way I do.
Just the way I do.
Your cheating heart, gonna tell on you.
Tell on you.
Your cheating heart will tell on you. Thank you. I went to a county commissioners board meeting here in Nashville the other day. Boy, do they have to put up with a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, there was a man there who was petitioning them to have the deer crossing sign moved from the highway near his house. He said so many deer were crossing there, it'd become a nuisance and we should have them cross someplace else. Oh, okay, everybody. It's time to help me and this lovely lady here if she'll dance with me. So you folks take the hint and join us, would you?
This is Bill Cody. So long from CabaRay Nashville.
Come join us here at the CabaRay. That's the Ray Stevens CabaRay and Showroom right here in West Nashville. We're easy to find at the Charlotte Avenue exit off I-40 West. It's the place in Nashville for a special entertainment and dining experience. There's great food, all your favorite wines and mixed drinks, a fun piano bar where you can sing along and dance. And there's the Ray Stevens Show, where I'll sing all my biggest hits with Nashville's best musicians and singers. So whether it's a special date night, entertaining friends and family, or you're just coming out to sing along in the piano bar, whatever your reason, the CabaRay is a fun place to enjoy a full night of entertainment. And the parking is free. So come see me, Ray Stevens, at the CabaRay. Call 615-327-4630 or go to RayStevensCabaRay.com. Make your plans now.